Yeah, well, exactly that. The encouragement to start wherever you're at. Start wherever you're at with whatever you have. If you have the idea, start there. If you have uh, some book knowledge, start there. If you know other authors, start there. So just starting is what I would say. When I started in this journey, it was about learning. That's where I started. It was learning everything I had to learn about the book business, writing a book that was a book of quality in every single aspect, from the story, from what we gave parents as back matter in the illustrations, and how we brought the book into schools or into story times. So that was my focus. But wherever the authors are, like, start where you are at.
Everybody, welcome back to Living the Next Chapter. It's the author podcast. We get to talk to great authors from around the world. And I'm talking to an author who does more than write her own stories and do all that. She's also works along with a company that really helps authors. And I'm so happy to have her here. Veronica is joining us today from a place I've been to many times. And I love, as a Canadian, I love going where it's warm. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. Veronica, welcome to Living the Next Chapter. Thank you for making time to be on the show.
Oh, thank you, Dave, for having me. This is so fun. Greetings to everybody from beautiful Arizona. Come and visit.
Come on, Arizona,
come and visit.
Right? Oh, come and visit. I might come and stay. I love it there. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how we feel about everybody staying, but we love visitors.
I don't take up much room, but yeah, it's a beautiful place. Yeah,
absolutely.
I learned very early in August when I was there one year to not leave my deodorant in the car or anything else that could melt.
Do not leave anything in the car. Don't leave your phone. Do not leave a chapstick, deodorant.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Right? Unless you want to bake some cookies. You can bake cookies on the dashboard. You can do that.
Oh, okay. There you go. I like
That's
it.
How hot
it's a beautiful place. So amazing there. Very different from where I am, and a welcome change. It was really great to be down there. You're part of the world.
Well, Canada is on my to-travel list.
Don't come up in January or February because you won't like it. I'll tell you that much. It's cold. Yeah. It's cold. But there you go. Yeah, come up anytime. Love to have you come up. That'd be great.
Will do.
Cool. So you are an author. I have authors who listen to this show, and they come here for inspiration from somebody else who's done something they're dreaming of doing someday. So the authors listening, they might have started yesterday. They got 2 words on a piece of paper. They have an idea maybe for a children's book or something, and they're like, I don't even know where to start. So what I love to do on this show is bring on amazing authors like you to leverage your experience, your knowledge to help the person listening so they can start at a different starting point than maybe even you did, because now you have knowledge to share. So for that person listening, Veronica, what could you suggest to them as far as a starting point, maybe some encouragement to start? Where would you like to begin with a new author listening?
Yeah, well, exactly that. The encouragement to start wherever you're at. Start wherever you're at with whatever you have. If you have the idea, start there. If you have some book knowledge, start there. If you know other authors, start there. So just starting is what I would say. When I started in this journey, it was about learning. That's where I started. It was learning everything I had to learn about the book business, writing a book that was a book of quality in every single aspect, from the story, from what we gave parents as back matter in the illustrations, and how we brought the book into schools or into story times. So that was my focus. But wherever the authors are, like, start where you are at.
Okay. All right. What if somebody's listening is like, I don't even know what I have yet? Like, how do I even create or generate this idea, this original thought into something a little bit more substantial to even get the ideas on paper? Is there some practical things we can do?
Yeah, writing, and without thinking of how long the book is going to be, where the story is going, to start writing. Start writing on anything, on a scratch piece of paper, on your note section in your phone, but start writing. And once you start writing, think about what kind of learning you want to do. So do you want to read a whole book on how to write a book? Do you want to be mentored by another author? Do you want to take a course? Everybody has different learning styles. And so it would really be up to that person of how they want to learn about it. There is so much to learn because picture book writing is really a form of art. And there's some very important aspects in the book that we have to consider. So um, we have to have the reader engaged immediately. So that's something to take into consideration. There has to be a lesson, but it shouldn't be didactic. So that's something to consider. And with an idea, you have to interweave it with how a picture book is set up. To
Right.
really learn everything you need to about picture books if that's where you're going. I'm sure there's formats for novels as well.
Writing a picture book, does that frame how you write the words? Like, are you thinking of what this is going to visually look like as you write the book, or are you just writing the story to hand off to somebody to put images to your words?
No, a picture book, the manuscript itself, the words really have to show and not tell. And part of
Okay.
that goes in with the pictures, with the illustrations. And so you do have to say, okay, do I have to say this part if the illustration's already saying it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of things can be omitted. And sometimes it's about adding those beautiful words, but keeping it simple as well. So you have to find that
Okay.
balance.
Yeah, because that whole thing about a picture's worth 1,000 words, that we hear that often. At what point in the writing process, then, if I was going to write a new picture book from scratch and I'm a brand new author, when do I even look at finding somebody to illustrate my book? Near the beginning, middle, end of the process? Where would you suggest?
You can start looking at the beginning because in my case, mine was different. The illustrator of my book and I work very closely. We have a very dynamic team. And so my case is quite different. Usually people write the manuscript and then start hunting for an illustrator. But that can take some time because you have to
Yeah.
get samples of pictures and see if it fits your style, to see if you write an art note and they can take your idea into what you imagine and visualize. You have to take in consideration how flexible you want to be in allowing them to represent the story how they see it. Some
Okay.
illustrators want a little bit more freedom. Some want very specific details on what they should draw. So the
Right.
author needs
And
to
then,
know, like, okay,
yeah.
what style am I going for? Do I really want to work closely with that illustrator to build it, or do I just want to hand over the manuscript with art notes?
Apart from working with you and your team, how would somebody find an illustrator? Where would they even start looking?
Right. So, how I would recommend is build or connecting with either on social media or locally or online with a group of authors and illustrators that work together and get recommendations from other people. Uh, the online world has become very scary. So I have heard horror stories of people hiring an illustrator and it's being AI or it's clip art. Turns out not to
Yeah.
be anything close to what they were promised. So getting a recommendation from other authors is super important. Looking at their past work. And so there's on social media, there's different like groups that you can join and really find someone that's been vetted and someone that somewhere you can see their work. You can purchase one of their past books and see what their illustrations look like.
You alluded to AI, and that's a constant topic of conversation on my show with authors who come on. Some in favor, some mildly in favor, some absolutely not in favor of AI for your illustrations for your books. Any concerns around copyright or anything when you use an AI tool or someone you hire uses an AI tool? Is there anything we need to be careful about?
Yeah, copyright, because it's not original work, you really are not able to copyright, as far as I know. You're not able to copyright that work. And you definitely want to copyright your writing and the illustrations, the book as a whole. And so if any part of it is AI, that becomes an issue. in my opinion, that becomes an issue, and you want your work to be yours. Ultimately, you don't want somebody able to reproduce it because it was already reproduced from something. And I know
Right.
that illustrations do come with a cost, and that is a concern, which is the reason why many people have gone to getting their illustrations through AI, because that's a way of, they're able to write a prompt or put their manuscript in and get those images. But ultimately, if you want it to be yours and be able to copyright it, that's just not the way to go.
And I guess the other side of that too is giving your manuscript to AI. Like you're giving your story, the
Exactly.
thing you wrote, to an AI model, and once you give it away, you're not getting it back, right? It's out there. So that's another concern I would think too.
Really, it is. And there's so many ways out there that I've learned from fellow authors that they do fundraising, or they do Kickstarters to be able to pay for an illustrator. Their work matters, and their work, just like your work, is worth the money.
Yeah.
And you do
Yeah.
have to find someone within your price point, but there are ways to cover those costs.
And I guess the other thing too is if you're going to write a book in series, so there's going to be more than one book in what you're writing, you're going to want to work with somebody ongoing, not just a one-off, and then try to find somebody else to copy the last artist you had hired to do the first book. For when you go to the second book, you kind of want to work with the same person for some continuity through all the different books that you write into the future. So you want a relationship with your illustrator as well.
You do. And ultimately, when somebody looks at your book on a shelf, that's what represents you. The illustrations will represent you. The
Right.
title can be, something that they look at, but really what catches the eye are the illustrations.
So like Winnie the Pooh is Winnie the Pooh. Every single book is Winnie the Pooh. It's the same all the way through.
Yes.
So there's not like a totally different version of Winnie the Pooh every book when different artists come in and try to draw, right? So there's that common thing all the way through, so you know exactly what you're reading. So yeah, so that's another consideration if you're going to write more than one book in your series. Make sure you have an ongoing relationship with that illustrator.
Right. And know that it will take time.
Yeah.
After you write your manuscript, it will take time. And while you are working on edits, which edits are super important in writing, you have time. It does not have to be something done within a month, 3 months, even a year. It takes time to work on it and put it together with the illustrations and then format it and work with the book designer. It all takes time, and it's worth it.
Being that the illustrations are such a big key point and part of the book itself, how does like, I guess there must be different ways for illustrators to be paid, either by the project itself or by having a portion of the sales of the book possibly, or some kind of arrangement, because the images really complement the words. So there's got to be something a little different than a traditional book where you just get the cover of your book done up and the rest is all inside the book is all the author's words without images. Is there anything different in a picture book compared to a traditional novel? Or book?
Most illustrators will just charge like a one-time upfront fee.
Okay.
And sometimes authors will look at that fee and say, whoa, but that's a life. I mean, that goes with the book. As long
Right.
as the book is published, as long as the book is printed, it's still there. And so when an illustrator puts that price tag on it, they're taking that into consideration.
Should we also be concerned or have a conversation with our illustrator about supplemental things in addition to the book? So if we create a character, the illustrator brings his character to life in picture, and then we we want to make a shirt, we want to make this, we want to make a toy. Like, is there things we need to think about into the future if this really kicks off and we want
Definitely.
to do additional things?
There are
Okay.
so many things to take into consideration, and that's why contracts are super important.
Right.
So everything has to be on there. So the character belongs to the author because the author has created the character. The
Right.
illustrator has illustrated it. And so in the contract, usually the illustrator says, okay, I am drawing this for you, but you are copyrighted it. So the illustrator doesn't have the rights to the image.
Okay. All right. So there's a lot of different ways we can go, but that's a conversation you should have as an author when you're talking to an illustrator, for sure.
For sure. And everything has to
Yeah.
be under contract. Like
Right.
nothing verbal should be done. Everything should be under contract, and every single thing of what the illustrator will include. Some illustrators do formatting, most don't, I believe. So for
Okay.
that's a
All right.
whole other step and another form of art. It's formatting and designing the picture book.
So let's talk about your writing and what you're doing personally. Like, I'd love to kind of connect you with the readers that are listening as well. Tell me a little bit more about what you're up to and about your story as well.
Yes, so I am the author of Captain and Me at Sea. It's an adventure book geared to kids 3 to 9, and but it's a little bit much more than just a picture book for kids 3 to 9. We know that the kids are not the ones buying the book. We know that we need to have the parents in mind, the teachers in mind. Parents don't want to read boring books that don't grow children. So we have the parents in mind very much when creating this book, both the illustrations and the words. So Captain and Me at Sea is the story of a kid pirate that goes on an adventure with a parrot. And a little parrot's name is Me, which is so silly. The kids think that's the funniest.
Mm-hmm.
And Captain and Me are on an adventure in the sea, and they are seeking a mystery. They're so confused by this mystery, and they go through different problems trying to find the mystery. At the end, to find out that the mystery was their very own shadow. And so it's a mystery. It's an adventure. It's a mystery, and it's also a silly. Like sometimes we do silly things, and we love for the kids to figure it out and be like, "Captain, look, it's the shadow. It's your own shadow," and feel smarter than Captain. We want to empower the
Interesting.
kids. So I included tons of rich vocabulary, repetitive words so that the kids are able to join in. And also at the very back, we included sample questions for the parents to ask questions before they read the story, during the story, and after the story, really to engage the child during story time. We also added a hide and seek, which is a pre-literacy skill because they're using their little eyes to look for details in the story, in the pictures, and a vocab list for the kiddos to learn captain's words, which are like piratey words, because we know that the more words kids know, the bigger their world is, and we love that. We love to expand kids' world, and we love them to be engaged during story time. We want them to love reading and to grow up to be long life readers. One of our missions is to combat the literacy crisis currently. Specifically in Arizona, 6 out of 10 kids struggle to read. As an
Wow.
educator and tutor for over 10 years, a reading tutor, I've been out there in the trenches and know what these kids are struggling with. And we know if we start by storytelling at the beginning, we can really combat a lot of that and fight
Wow.
that literacy crisis.
It's exciting. What kind of feedback have you had from parents around the book so far? I see lots of reviews here on Amazon, so people are talking. What kind of things have
They
stuck out for
are
you?
talking, and we appreciate every single one of those reviews because that's what's going to get other parents or teachers to pick up that book, to purchase that book and read it. We are getting that it's a fun story, that they love the activities, that the illustrations are absolutely beautiful. They love the little details that are hidden. There's some characters in there that aren't even spoken of in the actual manuscript, but you see them there in the background, and that just invites the parents and the kids to come back to the story and to reread, which we want. We want rereading. We're getting a lot of great feedback.
It's good. For the teachers and the school librarians that are listening, talk a little bit about why this book should be in your classroom and in your library.
Yes, as an educator, also a homeschooler,
Yeah.
I homeschooling mama. Uh, I feel that we put all the right things into the book so that teachers, librarians can expand on it. So it's a great read out loud. It it's exciting. It is engaging, and it has a lot of things that you can expand on. So you can read it more than once. You can do the different activities on different days. So it's perfect for a school setting.
Nice. I just love the idea of the shadow being one of the characters
Yes.
in the story. That's pretty funny. I like that.
Yeah.
You didn't write this all on your own. This wasn't a solo project. I see Bonnie's name is also attached to the book. Can you talk about your relationship with Bonnie?
Yes. So Bonnie is the illustrator, and it is attached to
Okay.
it. So I wrote the manuscript, and but the character was pulled from an idea that she had over 20 years ago. Bonnie Lewis, she had this beautiful idea of writing this story, and she got really busy because she's a busy lady. She's a founder of a local nonprofit that um, puts art that makes art accessible to all in the community, from high school students that want to pursue degrees in the art to the creative aging classes that are geared more to senior citizens. And so she's super busy, and so she wasn't able to do that 20 years ago. Wasn't able to do the book, and my daughter has been her mentoree for the last 10 years. So my daughter's an artist as well, and has been working with her. So she has been seeing the work I've done as an educator, a tutor, a homeschooler, the love I have for reading. So she reached out and said, "Hey, I really want to illustrate a book. You want to write it?" It took me zero point 0.5 seconds to say, "Of course, yes. When do we
Yeah.
start?" So for the last 2 years, we dove into learning everything it is that we needed to know, myself as a writer and herself as an illustrator, because she's an award-winning artist, muralist, nonprofit founder, but she had never illustrated a children's picture book. And that had some learning to do. And it was really neat
Wow.
to see someone with so much experience and knowledge come down and say, "Oh, I need to learn this." And, "Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Let me change this."
Screw. So then you guys work together on this project, but that opens the door to something else as well. Can you talk a little bit about Innis Press as well? Because I think people need to know more about this too.
Yes. So Ennis Press was founded because self-publishing is kind of, it's trending right now. And we really wanted to be published by a publisher. That was kind of our dream. But the more we learned about it, and the more we learned about how we would lose creative freedom being published by a bigger publisher, we didn't like the idea too much. And so we said, "You know what? Let's do it ourselves. Let's self-publish, but let's go a step further. We're going to create our own publishing company." And so that's how Innis Press was born. And so Innis Press was born, and we launched Captain and Me at Sea, our debut book, in September 2025. And we actually were able to be a #1 hot new release on Amazon at launch.
Wow.
So
Good.
that was super exciting. And with Innis Press, we have new plans. We have our book, and then we have a companion plushie, which kids absolutely love. It's the parrot. And some people say, "Oh, when is Captain coming out?" We don't want to have a Captain plushie because any kid can be Captain.
Right.
So they need me, the parrot plushie, to go on their adventures.
Okay. All right.
Our next,
I get that.
yeah, it's so fun. And our next plans are a coloring book, an activity book. The activity book, it will be a little bit more extensive. That has critical thinking skills because we're huge on that. It will be Captain and Me at Sea themed. And then we are hoping that we will also come with our Spanish translation and launch that as well.
So on top of this project you're working on with Bonnie, Is Innis Press setting itself up for the future to help other authors who want to publish a book and maybe come and work through you?
Yes, we would love to mentor other authors. We'd love to collaborate with authors that are already published, whether they're self-published or hybridly published or published by a publisher. We actually have a great community of authors that are local here, and we were just at Barnes and Noble with two authors this weekend for a book signing. So we'd love to collaborate with other authors and at events, but we also want to start mentoring, or we have already started mentoring other authors, whether they want to be self-published or whether they want to go on and pursue being picked up by a publisher.
So are you looking for people most geographically around where you are? Or are you open to people outside of Arizona?
We're more than welcome to answer any questions. Shoot us an email,
Sure.
And we can set something up. We've started locally. We love to work within our community. We have a very close-knit community out here in Goodyear and Avondale. Bonnie's from Goodyear, and I'm from Avondale, but they're really intertwined. They've historically been intertwined. And so we do want to start here locally and then expand.
Beautiful. So apart from your innispress.com website, where I can link through to your Instagram and Facebook and buy the book right from the website, is there somewhere else as well, Veronica, that we should be sending listeners so that they can connect with you and Bonnie?
I think the best way to connect and really know about what we're doing and look at our future events would be our social media that are connected to our website. But they're all under Innis Press on Facebook and Instagram. And our website's a really good way to get on our mailing list.
Okay.
Because
right.
we will be sending out exciting things soon on there. But right now, you can see what we've done and our future things on social media.
It's great. Awesome. Yeah, all that information is right there on your website. I love it. It's a beautiful website, too, by the way.
Thank you. That was done by my daughter, Veronica Iniguez. She's,
Come on.
yeah, she...
Pretty talented people here.
Yeah.
This is great.
I'm the one that's kind of fighting for my life, saying, okay, I have to bring something to the table. These people are just, they blow me away. So yeah, she's a graphic designer. She does websites. She does, she's illustrated several books locally, and she's looking to illustrate more. But she's also a muralist. Yeah, I can just talk about these two ladies, Bonnie and Nisa. Yes, so we're hoping that we inspire Bonnie to come on.
That would be wonderful if we can get time with her, because she's a busy person. I'd love to.
She's a very busy person, but she has a lot to share.
It's amazing. Mm-hmm. It's good. Well, there's a lot of good stuff happening, and I'm glad to hear there's more things coming around the book as well. Do you think there's going to be more and more stories down the road?
I am currently working on book 2.
Okay.
So
there you go. Do you have a timeline for us at all?
I would say beginning of 2027.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. To get it done. Right. Yeah, it was actually because Bonnie does illustration. She does watercoloring.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of details in those illustrations, so they take a while.
Right.
Yeah, they take a while.
The selfish reason I ask for that is because I want you back. That's the reason.
I
want you back on the show. That's the reason.
That's the reason. And so, yeah, as soon as we get that out. So another reason why it should take a while to do a book, and that's like why I was saying the advice for new authors is edits are so important. So you have to get developmental edits to really help develop that story. And then line edits and then proofreading. All that takes time because sometimes you're just so into the story and you've read it so many times that you have to put it away for a month or two and then look at it again.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, yeah, for anyone wanting to do that picture book, just keep that in mind. It takes time.
Right. Yeah. So I'm going to put you into a bookstore scenario, Veronica. You see somebody standing over by a display, your book is on display, and they're standing there looking at it, contemplating if this is the right book for them. They're a parent. They have kids in that age group. It's a perfect match. You come in the room and you see them standing there contemplating their purchase. You have one shot to walk up to this parent and tell them what this book is about. How would you approach the parent and the kid standing there as the author? And what would you say to them in that moment in that bookstore to encourage them to purchase this book?
As a true storyteller, because that was my favorite part of being in the classroom was storytelling, I would invite them to come and read it with me.
Oh, good.
And it would sell on its own.
There you go. That's a great way to do that. I like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, that would work. I think any parent would love to hear that. And to meet the author as well, which is great. So I love that you're out there.
We have love to see the face of kids when they come up and they're like, you wrote that? You made that? You made those pictures? We're big on coming out to schools as not only author visit, but author and illustrator visit.
Right.
And that's been a huge hit because everybody's a little different. Some people are drawn to the story. Some people are drawn to the illustrations.
Right.
And we get to meet both of those.
Excellent. At your next event, maybe team up with somebody who actually has a real parrot and have them come along. That would be interesting.
Oh, yes.
I think the kids would love that.
We have a fellow author that did. That does have one exactly the same color as ours because it's a macaw and it's the blue and yellow one. And they have exactly that one. But I don't think that macaw's too friendly. And so with having kids, we said, I don't know, that might be a liability. But yeah, that would be great.
I like it.
We find a friendly one.
Yeah, there you go. If you have a friendly parrot and you live in Arizona, reach out. Veronica, love to hear from you. Veronica, thank you so much for doing this, making time in your busy day to jump on and talk about your book. Congratulations on all this. Give our love and our congratulations to Bonnie as well for all her hard work and to your amazing daughter for what she's done as well. A great team you got over there, and I'm looking forward to many, many more opportunities to have you on the show to celebrate the next thing. So Thanks for making time to do this.
Thank you. I love this. I love everything you're doing. Thank you so much. Thank you to my friend Jeanette from Florida, a fellow author of Aloe Vera.
Yes, that book is amazing.
Aloe Vera's Gift. I almost lost it.
Right.
An amazing story, an amazing author, an amazing person. So thank you to her for having encouraging me to come on.
She's a great person too. There's a lot of great people in the world, and I'm glad this podcast brings them to light. So thank you, Veronica. Thank you so much. Everyone, as you listen, make sure you go to the show notes, click through to the website, go to innispress.com. It's right there for you. Grab a copy of the book. When you buy the book, buy two. One for you and your kids, one for your friends and family and their kids, and leave a great review as well. Let's build up those reviews on Amazon or wherever you're purchasing this book. Let people know why you love this book so much. That way, we're going to get more books in the future from these amazing people. So again, Veronica, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. Thank you. Have an amazing day.
Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. Glad to have you here. I just want to let you know that you can always find out what we're doing live in the moment by going to our YouTube channel. Head over to livingthenextchapter.com. There'll be a link right there. Head over to our YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all the things that all the YouTubers love to say. And in our YouTube channel, a couple things. You're going to get advanced listens. You're going to get the episodes that we're working on in real time. So we record and post daily on our YouTube channel. I'd love for you to give us a follow over there. As well, we're making playlists. We have over 500 episodes. So finding the right episode for you, we're trying to group things into playlists. So if you like children's books, if you like business, you like historical fiction, we're grouping our authors together to make it a little easier for you to find your favorite next author. So head over to livingthenextchapter.com. And again, I'd love to hear from you. Hearing from the listeners of the show is great. And I just want to say thank you for being a part of the podcast family. And I look forward to having you back for the next episode. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate your time and your listen. Take care.